Hello, everyone. My name is Katie, and welcome to my Greenland Quilter channel. I hope everybody has been having a good Monday. I'm feeling a little manic today. No, I'm just kidding. I should make a joke about that like that. That's probably wrong. But there's a song called Manic Money Monday. Have y'all ever heard that song? So anyway, I'm a lit. I got me some sleep this afternoon. I woke up about. I haven't been awake very long to tell you the truth. Um, but I finally got some rest, so I'm feeling pretty good. Pretty good. So I hope everybody's been having a great day, as I said. One of the things I'm going to do here in a minute is we're going to talk about a couple more channels because I've been on a mission to try to help, fellow creators with their channels. And it just means I want to share a channel, that's all. And I think it benefits all of us to, hear about another channel. And that way, if you've never heard of them, you can go visit them and subscribe to them. I know there's so many of us these days. It's crazy how much the community has grown, considering when I first started doing this 2.5 years ago, there was a few people doing lives. I mean, except for the bigger channels, of course, but a lot of us weren't aware of each other. And so I find that to be quite interesting because now, goodness gracious, we are really growing. The quilting industry has grown a lot too. It's pretty darn amazing from my point of view that, this is going on. So one of the channels I want to visit today is John from Guys Crafts 2. John's a sweetheart. I have sung with him. We stay in communication with each other quite often, and he's been busy at the beginning of the year, so I haven't been able to pin him down for some good old-fashioned sewing together because we really enjoy each other's company. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to share his link, and then we're going to go over to the channel for a minute because I do this at the beginning so that it gives time for everybody who's going to come watch the live to get in here. And it also gives a chance that those who watch the replay will hear about the channel. And yes, I'm sniffling, so excuse me, I'm so sorry. But yeah, let's have a little discussion about John's channel. Like I said, we've sewn together. He's really a nice man, and I have really come to think of him as a friend. And he's in the same category as Sean to me. Both of them have been really great friends and mentors. And John's channel, he's always so creative, and I love the camaraderie and how positive he is. He has a really nice channel. And so I'm gonna share his link, and then we're gonna go have a look at his channel. So he's the first one I'm going to be sharing with you guys. So what I'm going to do is screen. And so I just want to do this for the other fellow creator quilters, because before I became a creator myself, I spent a lot of time in a lot of people's channels doing exactly this, sharing their links. And I know this sounds like it's an I think. No, that's not what I'm saying. It's just that I have always wanted to help other people. And this is my way of paying it forward because, I'm not a rich person, so I can't like donate tons of money or anything, but I can help promote someone. And John's channel is really good. He does holiday quilting bees for Thanksgiving. He also does Veterans Day, so he's up there. He also celebrates MLK, which is really cool. He has playlist over here, country faves and KOC crafts. Let's see what kind of shorts we got. He definitely has quite a few shorts here that you can go watch to learn more about him. And then he has lots of videos. What he's been making this week, Island Quilting Month for Tula Pink, everything you need to know about our Arizona quilting retreat. He did that. So there's lots here for anyone who's interested. You just have to go through and pick whatever you want to watch. So when you go over there, make sure if you're not subscribed, to subscribe to him, and also watch some videos and comment on them and hit the like button. And he right now he is on the verge of a milestone. He has 4,990 something subscribers. So he's about to hit that 5,000K. So if you're not subscribed, hop on over there and push him over the edge. Also, share his channel so we can get him over that 5K mark. I didn't even realize he was so close until I just looked. And he has 906 videos sitting on his channel. So there is plenty for you to look at. He says, join me as you walk through his life of crafting. You will find a lot of quilting and sewing here, but he has many other interests. Tune in to see what's up on the agenda and watch as I learn new things and challenges, but accomplish many cool things. That's what he says about his channel. So yeah, hop on over there and say hello and do some good over there and share the love and all that good stuff. But yeah, look at that. He has lots of beautiful things, and I think that I'm hoping that his schedule will open up so that he and I can sew together, because it's time for us to do another sew together. And he's just an easy man to hang out with. So anyway, this is John, Guys Craft 2. I sound like a commercial, don't I? I'm not trying to. The other channel I want to talk about is I can't think of her first name to save my life. It'll come to me in a minute. But I want to talk about conquering Mount Scrapmore. Talk about her channel. Because she has sung with me. I have interviewed her. She's a bigger channel. But she's pretty amazing, because she shares the same love that me and a few others have for using our craft, or using our scraps to instead of wasting them, we use them and make things out of them. And I'm all for not wasting any fabric right now, because money's so tight and stuff, so you just sometimes we have to do what we got to do. There we go, Brenda. Yeah, Brenda of Mount Scrapmore. Let's talk about her for a minute also, and then we'll get on with my screen. All right, let me share the screen again. All right, so as I said, I have sung with Brenda, and I need to get up with her again, and let's see if we can get together. Her channel is called Conquering Mount Scrapmore with Brenda, and she has like I said, she's a bigger channel. She has around 32,000 subscribers with 737 videos. Here she's got a video about the potato chip block, her very favorite scrap buster. Let's see what kind of playlist she has. She has all kinds of playlists. In a New York Minute, Spring Fling with Strings, Rippling Geese, Mini Mondays, Chaos Sew Along, Collective Community Sew. See, she has all kinds of subjects here. Foundation paper piecing, hand sewing tools and techniques. There's lots here to be looked at. So hop on over. I'll share her playlist in just a second. Not her playlist, her channel, sorry. Yeah, so hop on over there and have a look around, subscribe, like, watch some videos, say hello to her, in her videos, to let her know you're there watching. And, she's a really sweet person. And I enjoyed the last time we sewed together. In my podcast, you'll find an interview where I talked to her. Quite a few of these channels I've interviewed. John's the same. I've interviewed John. So, if you go through my podcast, you'll be amazed at how many people I've gotten in touch with. It. We've sat down and talked and had a few laughs and learned a lot about them and their channels. So this is Conquering Mount Scrapmore with Brenda. And let me post her link in the channel. And I think I might have her in the bot, maybe. Let me see if I do before I go manually doing it. Yeah, she's really sweet. I agree with you on that, Denise. Now I'm fixing. Come on. Oh, there we go. So here's Brenda's link. If you haven't been to her channel, hit that link and go over there and subscribe and say hi and watch our videos. So that was John from Guys Craft 2, and that was Brenda from Conquering Mount Scrapmore. So there you go. So those are my 2 channels for tonight. All right. Now, let me say hi to everyone in the chat and see how everyone's doing. Hi, Jean. Welcome, welcome. Hey, Sissy. I'm good to, hey, where are you on things? Don't forget we have the mental health live this weekend too. So I'll send you links for that. I hope you're having a good, I hope you've had a good weekend, Myra. Miss talking to you. And hello, Chris. Hello, Sandra. Hello, Cindy Good. Hello, Denise. Yes, I got some rest, definitely. Hi, Linda. I slept probably 6 hours, maybe. I only woke up once during that 6 hours and then I went right back to sleep. So that was good. All right. And hello, Jean. Hello, Linda. It's good to see you. Hi, Dubrovka. How are you? I hope I got everybody. All right. So let me tell you what we're going to do today. I plan on, first off, I'm going to take this off the camera off for a minute because I want to show you something. And it's probably going to give me a hard time when I try to put it back on. Watch your eyes if you're sensitive to motion. But I hung up, hold on a minute. But I hung up my Katie's Creative Chaos. So this section here is sewn together. So right now there's 4 blocks across. I'm going to add, wow, this camera's really slow. I'm going to add over here, you can see on the far right, there's 2 blocks that's not sewn. So this is going to be the width of the quilt. So definitely it'll be 5 of these big blocks across. And then the plan is to do 6 down. And that'll give me 30 of those big 16 3/4 inch blocks that I'll be sewing together. But I wanted you to see, now that I got it up where you can actually look at it, what it looks like. I want to point out, because I chose, which it's got a good title about being chaos, because when I flipped these blocks, I discovered a problem. I could line them up, line up these 4 patches and stuff with the hourglasses just fine. But the minute I flipped the block, it put misalignment down here. You probably can see the misalignment here. And that's because of the sashing in the way I flipped the block. And I'm not too worried about that, because hence the title. There's chaos in here, because I was thinking it would work, and obviously it didn't. See how it's not aligned? But that's okay, because this is a very scrappy quilt, and I am not ripping this stuff out to fix it. There's nothing wrong with how I joined this, each block. That's all aligned like it's supposed to be. It's just that these 4 patches are offset because I turned the block the way I did. It offset them is what it did. And so if someone's looking at it, they'll see it. If they're not looking at it, then they may not even notice it. But if you look here, you can see that the 4 patches are in alignment with the hourglass. That part's fine. It's just because I flipped this block, that's what happened. So if you're in the process of making this, be aware that if you turn these blocks, this is what's going to happen. If you don't turn them, it will line up like it's supposed to. So anyway, but I don't see anything wrong with this. I would never be able to enter in a quilt show, because that's the first thing they would see. But I feel like this is a really good scrap quilt that anyone can do. It's pretty much, it's beginner friendly. Maybe the hourglass might not be, but all they are is half square triangles turned a certain way. And so I feel like this would be a good scrap buster. These are all from the charm squares I have in my stash, and I will continue using them. So you're probably going to see changes happen in this quilt, because I'm keep pulling more charms out because he's taken a lot of charm squares. Do I know how many I've used now? I've gone through 3 packs of charms so far. So this is a great way to bust some of your charm squares, and you do not have to keep the same fabric line. I suggest just going with being scrappy. That's what you should do. The more charm squares you use, the more you mix them up, make it chaos. That's what I'm saying. Make it total chaos, because whoever gets this quilt, even if you keep it and put it on your bed or on this one's going to be a twin size. There is going to be a border that goes around the outside because we have lots of seams. So I'll probably put about a 4-inch border, or 4.5-inch border all the way around it. So it's going to be bigger than a twin size bed, I'm thinking, maybe. And so you can actually use this on a twin size bed, or you could put it on your sofa to cuddle in. So this scrappy thing would be perfect for cuddling in and having a good time with, and just don't think too much when you're doing this, because I know some people have a hard time having unorganized use of color, you know, because this is so scrappy, but it's beautiful. I think it is anyway, because it's got all this happy, bright, beautiful colors, and we just have the sashing kind of giving an extra little dimension to the whole thing. So tell me what you think about this. Try not to make anyone dizzy here. I'm sorry. All right, let me get this thing fixed back the way it was. Uh-oh, I hear an echo. All right, I think it's okay. Can y'all hear echo? That looks like it's upside down. Uh-oh. We got to fix that. Sorry, guys. This always happens when you're messing around with things. So bear with me just a second, because it's going to take me a minute to redo it. Hi, Delia. And hey, Andy. Welcome, welcome. And hello, LGG Glove. And hi, Helen. Hey, Carrie. Hang on. Let me get... Uh-oh. What happened to my screen? Uh-oh. We're about to lose this thing up. This is what happens when you move things. Okay, I got the screen back, so hold on a minute, because I keep hearing an echo. Okay. Now I want to turn the thing so I can get it back horizontal and not upside down like it was a minute ago. Okay, let me get it back on the apparatus. Okay, I think it's okay. All right, so what did y'all think about what I just showed you? So we're going to work on that tonight, but we're also going to work, I'm going to show you something as well. Hold on a minute. All right, so as you know, I hear an echo, darn it. I was always told people make mistakes on purpose on each quilt they make. Well, mine's definitely gonna stay that way. I'm not fixing it. I could go and flip things back around and reorganize it and it'll be fine. But I feel like this will give character to the quilt. Plus it'll lend to the name, you know, Creative Chaos, because I was designing this in my head. Hi, Kevin. Welcome, welcome. I was designing it in my head, and there is going to be a written pattern because Andrea from Mama J Enterprises is currently writing the pattern. She's waiting on me to finish this so that I can get a picture of it so she can put it on the pattern. And but she's writing it so that if someone doesn't want to get just, all chaotic like this, they don't have to. But I think the main premise for this whole quilt along was so that you could use what you had in your stash and get as creative as you want it with it, and as colorful as you want it with it, and as scrappy as you want it with it. And that was the whole premise behind the whole thing, the whole sew along. So keep that in mind. But like I said, I feel like it's pretty much beginner friendly. Anyone should be able to do it. They might struggle a little bit with the hourglasses, but she's writing the pattern, I think, based on the way that I created the quilt. And since then, or the blocks, I mean, since then, I've also learned a few things about designing this quilt, how I did it. It was a learning process for me because I didn't know you could take two 5-inch squares, put them face to face, sew them parallel to each other, cut them in twice to make 4 patches, nor did I realize that you could sew all 4 sides and cut diagonally twice and get 4 half square triangles. See, I didn't know that because remember, you've heard me say in the past that I didn't always understand the mechanics of blocks. And I am slowly, between doing this and also the 1,000 blocks I've been doing, I have really gained a lot of experience learning the mechanics of the block, how they go together, why they go together the way they do to do what they're doing. It's been a really great way to learn something new, and I have really totally enjoyed doing this quilt. So I'll be working on this over a lot of lives over the next couple of weeks because I want to get to a finishing point so that when Nikolai comes home, we can get a really good picture of it, because I'm going to need help because it's going to be pretty good size, I think, twin size, but it's still going to be, substantial for this type of quilt. All right. So the other thing that I wanted to show you guys is, I'm sewing with Sherry on the Alice's Wonderland book. And for those that don't know what I'm talking about, this is also another skill builder. This whole book is a skill building book, but we're doing a collaboration together on this book. And I wanted to show you something. It has to do with the border. There's 2 borders that's going to go on this part of this sew along. And I mentioned it the other day. Let me show you a picture right here. As you can see, there's this inner border, which is going to be hosting a bunch of colors. And we'll talk about this in the future. But what I wanted to show you was this right here. This square and a square. You have to make 100 of these. You heard me, 100 of them. So they're teaching you how to do this the usual way, where you're cutting half triangles and squares and you're sewing them together. I'm doing a shortcut, and I wanted to show you my shortcut. So I know what the unfinished size of these are supposed to be, and I found and if anyone who is sewing this is interested, I found a free website that has these unfinished 3.5-inch square and square paper piecing. And you're like, well, why do I need to do it that way? You don't. I'm not saying do it this way. This is just another way of doing it faster and more accurate so that you're not chopping off points, because this will keep you from doing it. If you don't care about chopping off points, then do it do it the way the book is saying. But there is an alternative, and I wanted you to see what they look like. See? Because these are small, and it'd be very easy to chop off corners if this, to me, this is faster sewing it like this. So let me show you up underneath this camera here. But here's an example of how they would look. And you see I'm using the dark navy blue. That's my background, not white. So my entire quilt's going to have this as the background. But you can get, I think I've set myself up a plan where I'm going to be doing 20 of these a week, which will take about 5 weeks to make all 100 of these. Now, I may do more so they can hurry up and get these out of the way, because these are the ones that's going to take the most time. And if you wait till after you've sewed all these blocks through this whole period, you're going to have a ton of these to do at the end. But if you do a little here, a little there, a little, you know, and so forth, you can do that. And then with the border, the other border is strips basically that you're sewing. And if you do a little of these and a little, and then chop them like it tells you to do it, you can get this done over a period of time and not have this waiting on you at the end where it's going to take you hours and hours to do. If you just limit, you know, take a couple hours, make a few strips, do the chopping the book says on it, and the same thing with the hourglass. You can get those two things because that's a lot all by itself. This part right here is going to take time. But if you do so many every week, by the time we get to the other end of this exercise of all the blocks, because we have applique that's coming up, we have, so basically there is applique that I don't know how to do. So it's going to be a whole new experience for me. You're going to have curves. That's another one. English paper piecing is involved in this. So there's a lot of new skill sets that some of us are going to be learning. And if we get some of this stuff like this out of the way, we can really concentrate on learning what we don't know how to do. And the paper piecing itself, if you want to do it this route, will speed this along a little bit. I'm not promoting hurry up and get this done, because you guys know me well enough to know that I don't mind taking my sweet time on getting anything done, because I'm a slow sewer anyway, so what the heck. But this will help alleviate maybe some of the frustration some might find, because there's so many of these. Because seriously, 100 of these, that's a lot. When I saw that, I'm like, oh my God. And they're asking you to use 100 different colors. So we'll see how far I can go with using different colors. When you see these, you might think they're the same, but there's not any one of these the same. Every one of them is a different color. And I've been going through my scraps of batiks, and I've been pulling out more. I've already chopped a bunch of half triangles already. Do I have 100 yet? No, but I'm sure I'll get there. But yeah, so I would suggest doing this. And if you're interested, what I'll do is I'll post the link to the free website for this particular size of square and a square. I'll put it in the description box of this live, but I'll also put it in the comments section below the live. After the live, I'll make sure I get it put up so that you can find it, because it is free, and all you have to do is download the PDF and print as many of these as you want. Okay, so now we've talked about that. And just so you know, 4 comes to a page. So when you're printing them out, there'll be 4 on it. And yeah, it's so simple. And if you need to know what size of these to cut, I can tell you. You need to cut, I think these were, 4 inches, I think. And then these, to make these triangles, you need to cut 3, and I wrote it down, and I'll let you know what size you need to, if you're going to use paper piecing. I can tell you what size squares you need to cut these in half, because you're going to need 2 pieces. Basically you're cutting 4 of these half triangles. So I can give you the dimensions if you need to for that also. It's pretty simple to do. Andrea says, I will look in my files, but I think she says she thinks she has the PDF that you can print. So yeah, I'm trying to keep this free for you guys, because we invested in the book, and I know a lot of people's money is tight, especially right now. And so that's why I found this was free. And I've been looking for flying geese papers too, for those who might want to cheat a little bit and use flying geese paper instead of doing the sew 4 at a time thing. And I'll let you know when I found a freebie of that too, because we're going to be using, like in this book, it looks like there's at least 3 different sizes the flying geese we're going to be dealing with in these blocks. So I'll let you know when I have found the freebie, and I'll get with Andrea, because Andrea might even have those sizes of flying geese and paper piecing. I don't know. But there is some out there. It takes a little time to figure out which ones to use, because you're going by the unfinished, because it tells you in the book how to trim them down and what size they need to be. So you're going to have to, if you're going to use paper, you need to find it as an unfinished, because I don't know what size they're supposed to be finished, put it that way. So yeah, anyway, that's that. All right. Okay, let me see here. Let me tell you where I am on. So right now, I am working on 4 patches. I don't know why I did it this way. This is so weird. I think I must have pulled them apart. But I need to make some more of these, and I need to make some more hourglasses. So I'll be working on that tonight. And then tomorrow night, we're going to, let's see. Yeah, Tuesday, I'll be working on this again. Then Wednesday, I'm going to do 1,000 block number 32, I think it is, and I'll let you know at the end of the live which one. And then Friday, another 1,000 block. That'll leave 1 block, you guys, to get finished. And then I'll have all 36 of them. I'm also going to, on a live this upcoming week, there's 2 of the blocks that I have to fix. Remember the one that had too much green in it? I'm going to show you how to take just the part apart that needs to be changed, and how to change it out. Because sometimes when we make a block, we're not happy with some part, you know, if the color's not what you expected, or you use too much of a color and it bled through, and you're not, because we all sometimes do a block that we're not happy with. And it's not that we did a bad job, we didn't. It's just, as you know, I don't pre-plan what I use for colors on each block I do. I never have. I do it the day of, and I audition what I want to use and pick out from there. And if I get stuck, sometimes Nikolai helps me unstick myself, or I bring it before you guys like I've done in the past and show you different colors and say, what do you think about this? You know, I get some engagement from you guys, because sometimes I do get a little bit stuck in my head. But you will see me pull part of that block apart, replace the part that needs to be replaced in it, and then resew it back together, and voila, it's done. So I think that would be a good learning tool for anyone who doesn't know how to take part of a block apart, because we're not taking the whole block apart. We're just going to take the outer perimeter apart and replace one section in it. That's all we got to do, and then put it back on there. So I'm going to show you how to do that. You've seen me pull out part of a seam, replace something, put it back in there, and then resew the partial seam. That's been something you've seen me do too. And I will continue to try to show you how to do that as well. All right. For those of you who are channel creators, you can type !selfie to share your link. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start making some more charm squares. I mean, some more 4-patch and hourglass, and I'm going to show you how I've been doing them. And I stumbled onto somebody's website the other day, and she was doing 4 patches similar to what I was doing, but I did not know something she did. And so I want to test run it and see what happens. Because what she did, she sewed it like I've been doing these 4 patches. So I'll use an example here. As you know, I like to take these charm squares, and I'm going to put this together here, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. And I put 2 1/4-inch seams parallel to each other, which is what she did too. But then instead, now I've been chop here, then chop here. She chopped hers in half, then she opened them up, pressed them, and then she lined them up in a different direction, and then she chopped again. And that didn't occur to me to do it like that. Or she sewed the sides again, then she chopped, and then she had an automatic 4-patch, and it didn't occur to me to try doing it that way. So I thought that was pretty interesting. There is so many ways to do patch blocks. You can do strip sets, You can do it this way where you're using 2 5-inch squares and when you do it this way, you get 2 4 patches out of it. Now, when you sew all the way around and cut on the diagonal twice to get an hourglass, you only get 1. And that's because you get 4 half square triangles. And if you want it to be the same size as these 4 patches, you have to trim down, which is what I've been doing, is trimming it down to 2.5 on the half square triangles before I ever open them up, because that's the only way they'll work, because otherwise the hourglass would be bigger than the 4 patch. And so that's what I did to compensate for the difference in sizes of the block. And I know it doesn't look like I'm looking at the camera. Sorry, guys. So let's make some more blocks. All right. I have all kinds of charm squares in here. All right. You know what? I really like this. This is so pretty. All right. Let's use a different. All right. So I just go through here and I just pick some. These ones right here, I'm going to probably turn them into hourglasses because I just think they look cool with that design on them. But I'm also making 4 patches. So we'll do that. I'm just going to pull some out of here and let me see here. And I really like this green. I'm going to use some of this green. All right, let me see what else I can use. Might work. That might work. Some red. We're going to get some yellow out of here. A couple of those. And we got some purple in here. We'll use some of that. We'll use some of these bubbles. A couple more of those on here. So I'm just pulling out random stuff. I don't really have a method to this. I just mix and match and make sure. One of the things I am careful about is I try not to put like see, this would probably be too busy. Like you see right here, if I put these two together, that might be too busy. Can you see the busyness? That's the one thing I'm not doing. Because everybody's eyeball will get pulled to that and see that, and they'll be like, I didn't see that, you know? But yeah, so that's about the biggest thing that I watch out for is, but now sometimes busy can go with busy. Like those two could go together. These are polka dots, but the polka dot doesn't, it's not in your face like this blue is. See, this is like in your face. See what I'm saying? And this is just a more of a blender. And you could get away with putting those two together. At least in my not so good opinion. And I haven't used any of this butterfly. I don't know why I have it, but I have it. All right, let's see here. See what else I can pull out of here. We can pull some of that out. And we're going to pull some more of that out because I really like using that one. And we have some light purple here we can use. So basically, as you can see, I'm just pulling stuff out. I haven't used that one. But yeah, just this is what you can do. You can just randomly mix and match blocks. We have a purple here. Okay, so let's get started with what I got right here. All right, let me see what everybody's got saying in the chat real quick. Did you get in touch with Rita? No. So I don't know if her book came today or not. I should have looked, but I haven't. All right, let me backtrack and catch up on everybody. Thank you, Kevin, for dropping in. I appreciate you if you're still here. Hello, Chris. Hi, Mary Ann. Welcome, welcome. Hi, Andrea. We have LG Glove. Welcome. Vicki Bush is here. Nice to see you. Hello, Deb S. Welcome. Wait, no, that's Deb Loves. Sorry. Cindy Good's here. Welcome, welcome. And my best friend Andy's here. It's good to see. Hey, I watched your live last night. I just didn't talk. I was watching. Let me see here. Andrea says, my link just posted. And if you're doing the 1,000 blocks so long with us, I am making a weekly tutorial to follow Katie and Sherry's live. I am working on yesterday's now. Last week is already up. You're talking about Alice's Wonderland, right? Not the 1,000 block. Let me see here. Hi, Jean. Welcome, welcome. Brad said, hey, Brad. Fat Quarter Shop has foundation paper for 2" by 4" flying geese, making 2 at a time. Yep, they do. But I was trying to find a freebie site where you didn't have to pay for them because not everybody has money to spend on paper, or spend on that. You know, right now though, right now with Fat Quarter Shop, just so you guys know, they have triangle paper, 25% off all of it. Any size, any of it. They even have 25% off the kit. Like you can buy a kit where there's like 5 different sizes in it. So, yeah, in case you didn't know that, it's 25% off of those also. Hi, Denise. She says, can you demo now? What are we demoing? Andrea says, I cannot fix it, Katie. We'll have to, unless we have a mod. Fix what? Tell me what I missed. Is there something wrong with the bot? Hang on a minute. Let me look at that link. Deb says, just thought I would let you know as I tried to use it the other day and couldn't subscribe. Couldn't subscribe to what? Oh, Mama J's link isn't working. I thought I fixed that. That bot's driving me crazy. Hey, Mona, welcome, welcome. Hello, Delia. I think I already said hi, but I'm saying hi again. Okay, let me check this link real quick. Oh, you're right. It doesn't work. All right, hang on a minute. Gotta fix it. Wow. I think that's because when YouTube did their name changes and stuff, it it offsets some of my bot links, which is strange. Mama J Enterprises. All right, let me see if I can't fix this link. Let me see what the difference is in what I put in the channel. Hold on a minute. Yeah, I already see what the problem is. Wow, it did get changed. Okay, I'm going to fix it. The 1,000 block book is this book that I've been working on blocks out of for the last year. In the meantime, I'm going to fix this bot thing so people can get her link. Okay, let's go to Mr. Nightbot. And I'll explain about the book, Delia, in just a second. Because I've been doing blocks for the last year as tutorials, and that was what I was talking about. That I'll be sewing together soon. That we'll be doing number 33 on Wednesday, and then I think it's number 34 on the next one, and then we have one left because I skipped a couple blocks. All right, let me find Andrea's. Okay, Mama J. Let's edit that. I see what's wrong with it now. It's different than it was before because now it's different. All right. Let's update this part of it. Then I got to go fix it in the timed event part of it. All right, Mama J, where are you? Let's edit that one. And it'll be fixed here in just a minute and we'll test it again. Update. All right, someone type exclamation Mama J and see if it works now. Hi, Gladys. Welcome, welcome. And hello, Shonda. How are you? Do you want to jump? Do you want to hop up? You can if you want, or you can stay in the channel. All right. Let me. All right. Let me test this link. It works now. Okay, I've got it fixed. So that's what it was, is the name change affected my setting in my bot. So it is now operational. Anyway, back to the book for Gilia. This has 1,000 blocks in here. And so for the last year, I've been doing tutorials on a live, usually on Fridays. There's a few times where I ended up doing on a Saturday, on a Thursday, because something was going on where I had to have Friday for something else. But for the most part, up underneath my playlist, you'll find one called Quilt Makers 1000 Block playlist, and you'll find all the blocks that we've done over the past year, because in a week it'll be a year since I started this. And I did this intentionally. I have two quilt-alongs that are two sew-alongs I was doing. This was the tutorial one, and then the Katie's Creative Chaos. They've been pulled out over a year, and I had intentionally done that this way because I didn't want to. I wanted to enjoy the process. This has been a really great learning tool for me. My sewing has improved a lot because of this book and my ability to read patterns, because this book gives you the measurements of what you're supposed to cut, but it don't hardly tell you what to do or how to do it. So you're on your own. And this is a great way to, this has been a great way for me to learn the mechanics of a block. Now there's a lot of blocks in here I still haven't done there. And so this book consists of a section of applique, about over almost close to 100 pages of applique, and then probably another 100 of what is called foundation paper piecing. Then you have a section that's mixed media, so it'll be a combination of piecing, applique, or foundation paper piecing, or it might be a combination of all three in one block. It just depends on what you're doing. And then there's an entire section that's set apart from everything else. It's nothing but piecing. I mean, there's so many pages of pieced blocks in here. And so I've been doing a lot out of that section. I have pulled some out of the foundation paper piecing. I've done, I think we've sewn 4 blocks that were paper pieced. And I just started introducing them right at the back end of this sewalong, just to, you know, up the ante a little bit. But I have not approached the applique at all in this book because I do not know how to do applique. I need to be taught how to do it, you know, because I need to see how to do it. I know how to do reverse applique. That's easy. But putting stuff on top of fabric, that's not so easy. But anyway, that's what this is. But I think Andrew was talking about Alice's Wonderland book, doing tutorials for that. Unless I'm wrong. Which one are you doing the tutorials for, Andrea? The Alice's Wonderland one? Because that's the one me and Sherry are doing together. All right, let's get to making some blocks. It was the, yeah, not the 1000. Katie has covered those blocks real well. I could do the ones that she doesn't, though. Yeah, there's 1,000 blocks in that book. So the sky is the limit here on how, you know. So look, this is what this block looks like. See how simple it is and so light? And look what you could do with it. You could put this polka dot with this and get a block. And that's what I'm gonna do with this one. We're gonna make a 4-patch out of it. Or I might make a hourglass out of it, maybe. We'll see. So all I do is put them face to face, and then I need a leader in my sewing machine. And move this to the right. Have y'all seen Rita today by any chance? I hope she got her book. I was excited about her getting the book. I got it on sale on Amazon too. She got her book was on sale for $26 instead of the $30. So I saved a little bit of money. Now I'm just going to do some chain sewing here. All right, let me see what I want to do with this one. Let's put this black with this. Well, actually, this is not black, it's navy blue. It just looks black. And we're just going to sew some blocks. Tell me what you guys are working on and how you've been doing today. How's your first day of the week been going? I know I put some. Yeah, let's use this one. Put these with the butterflies. I hadn't used the butterflies. I don't know why I haven't, but I haven't. The butterflies are pretty. Okay. Alrighty. Get sewing here. Who did you ask? I have a live and TV going. Huh? I need to catch up because I think I missed something. Who did I ask what? All right, let me catch up on things because it looks like I missed something. Yeah, adding the free also with these paper piecing, when you're Googling free paper piecing stuff, you need to put free printable. If you don't put printable in there, you might get a whole long list of things and discover you can't print any of it. It's crazy the way it is. All right. Julia says, I have that one. Cool. All right. Okay, got you, Shonda. How are you doing, by the way? Deb says, I'm already subscribed. Mona says, I'm in my chair doing nothing, pooped. That's okay. Chilling out. It's a good thing. Hi, AC Florida. How are you? Julia says, I cut strips and started subcutting. We'll get the rest done tomorrow. Gonna start another Quilt of Valor potato chip style. Cool. I was thinking of potato chip block. I need to finish mine because that's another one that's going to go to a grand because I think I'm going to send some of these to the kids. It was the Alice Wonderland, not the 1000 block. Okay, Denise says, let's see here. She posted her mail. She posted her mail something early this morning, but this is the first live I've been on today. I am still fighting a headache. Okay. I've lost my sojo, but hoping joining in will bring it back. May I make a suggestion, Deb? Have you tried just pulling out some small pieces of fabric and just do mindless sewing? Just don't think about what you're doing. Oh, I did ask how are all of y'all doing? How about I do that? And then nobody gets pinpointed. Maybe Rita responded by you by email. Nope, she hasn't. No email. I looked. So I don't know if she got it or not. She might be sleeping because I know she didn't sleep last night because she wasn't the only one that was awake last night. I was awake last night. Ooh, these checkers gonna mess with my eyeballs. All right, what do I want to put with this checkered black one? Let's see. Nope. How about this? Maybe, maybe not. What about this yellow? Let's see. I kind of think that green would be all right with this, although I'm not sure about the busyness of it. We're going to try this one and see what happens. Vicky says, husband has a lot of medical stuff coming up, so I'm also overwhelmed lately. I'm so sorry, sweetie. She was buying on my live earlier, said Mona. Oh, okay. Maybe the mail didn't come yet. I'll look and see if she got the book or not in just a minute. I just want to make sure it went to the right place. And mine, and I forget there's a big time difference between me and her. All right, let's do. Nope. What about this green? Nope. Actually, that kind of does work. Let's do this oddball one. It's so weird how each charm pack has different size charms in it. It's very weird. No charm pack is alike. All right. Yep, that'll work. Hey, Muriel, how are you? Hey, Nanette, it's good to see you in here. And AC Florida 1 says, hey there, Delia. I just subbed to you, by the way. Thank you for that. I didn't know Delia had a channel, actually. My, I need to go over there and check it out. Let's do this purple with, what I want to do is purple with. Can you do one so we can see what a finished one looks like and then the chain the rest? Sure, Denise. Let me pick one out where you can see the colors pretty good. All right, let's do the blue and yellow. Okay. So I'll do two different ones. I'll do the 4-patch so you can see it, and I'll do an hourglass so you can see it. I didn't pull enough of those out of here. Okay, these two will work. All right. Let me take these out. And I'll get them out of the way so you can see what I'm doing. I'm just going to pile everything up over here. All right. Okay. So what I'm doing is I'm just going to put them face to face. You got that front side, This is the backside of regular cotton. If it was batiks, it wouldn't matter. But I'm working with cotton today. And you just want to make sure that you line them up flip them on both sides and make sure you've got it lined up right. Because you'll have to do this for both of them because we're doing both styles or both patterns, whichever you want to call it. Okay, and I'm gonna do the same thing with this one, face to face. Okay, so I'll do the 4 patch first. Just line it up. Then I'm going to sew parallel a 1/4 inch on both sides. So let's start with that one. I'm just looking for a scrap piece of so I can do a leader. See, these little pieces of fabric come in handy for something. All right, so go ahead and you're going to sew on a 1/4 inch on this side, a 1/4 inch on this side. And then I'm going to turn it around, do the other side. Okay, and I'll show you here up close. Well, you're not going to be able to see the seam line, but I put one on this side and one on this side. See, it's open on the other 2 sides. See? Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my ruler out, and we know that this is a 5-inch square, and we know that 4 patches are usually 2 and 4. When you do a 4 patch, you're sewing 4 2.5 by 2.5 squares together to make a 4 patch. Here we're doing it a little different, and all you need to do is line up your ruler at the 2.5 mark here on the edge here. This is the 2.5, and then you're going to take this first cut. I need to use. You're going to take this first cut, like I said, line it up. Mona says she'll be right back. And then you're going to cut it down the center. Make sure you don't move this because you're going to do another cut. And you turn the block around, line it up on this side also. Then you're going to cut again. And then what you end up with is 4 half patches. So I'm finger pressing right now. Now, this part about the pressing, this is going to be up to you, the sewer. I'm going to turn mine over and I'm going to press my seams open. But some people, you do the nesting instead. So do what's you're most comfortable with. I do it this way because this is what I'm comfortable with, and I get flat seams, plus it's easier for me to align the seam. One of these days I'll take scrap fabric that I don't mind ruining, and I'll see if I can't do better about nesting. Right now, every time I nest, I end up having to rip it back out and fix it because it's always off. I'm not saying this is perfect either, because you can easily, if you pull the pin out before you should, because I pin everything, you can actually make it unalign itself too. So I've got 4 of these. We're going to sew 2 sets together to do 2 4 patches. And what you're going to do is you're going to take them face to face, and you're going to make sure you have this effect going on. And you turn them face to face. And then what I like to do is I take a pin and I'm going to put it through this back of this seam and make sure it comes out in the middle of the seam here, not off to the side. Then I'm going to take the pin and put it through the front side of this seam. Make sure it comes out between the two seams here. That way you're lining up your seams, and then I've already got that sitting there, so I know that that's correct. And then I'll go ahead and put a pin down here on one end, and then come turn it around and do the same thing on the other side of this one. And then I'll get up here at the top and I'll make sure that these two seams are, and I'll show you. You have to make sure that this seam is lined up with the other seam. They need to be parallel to each other. You see that? That's what you need to make sure happens. And when you have it lined up, then you pin it so it doesn't move. Because what you're trying to do is make sure that these seams are lined up. And then you'll be ready to sew. All right, we're going to do the same thing with this other one. And then we'll sew them both. And then I'll show you how to do the hourglass. Because you're going to need both of them for this sew along. Same thing, pin it through the front. Make sure it comes out back here in between the seam. You don't want it cockeyed off to the side. And then again, you repeat the same, pin it. And again. And then you come down here and you look and line these two seams up before you pin. Make sure they're lined up. This is, so all I got to do now is put a pin in here to keep it from moving. Do the same thing here. Mona says, I just subbed to your other channel. Whose other channel? I hear cats making love outside my window. Oh my gosh. Oh my word. All right, let's get these sewn because I'm getting distracted by the cat thing. That's hilarious. So funny. And I keep losing leaders. It's weird how my table sucks up leaders. They're probably up behind the sewing machine. All right, let's go ahead and sew a 1/4 inch seam on these. This next one. Okay. And as you can see, we now have 2 4-patch blocks from 2 5-inch squares that we sewed face to face to each other. See, now you have 2. Okay, so we'll put this aside and I'll show you the next process. So the next one is the hourglass one. Wow, there's lots of raveling going on here. All right. I want to make sure I have these laid face down. Look at there. There's selvage right there. And this was in a charm pack. But it's going to be on the outside, so it's not going to really matter. It's so thin you can't hardly see it. It's right there along the edge. All right, so now what I'm going to do here is we're going to sew a seam all the way around. And then I'll show you what to do next. Okay. Katie, I have 2 channels. I did not. Oh, that's right, you do. I need to. Can you post the link of the other? No, because you're not a moderator. Hang on. I'll help with that. You don't have to stay as a moderator if you don't want to, Mona. But now you'll be able to share your link. Can you share your other channel link? That way I can subscribe to it, please. You should be able to share it, as I just modded you. Mona says, I got you back and put your premiere in my watch list. All right, let me hit that link. All right. Wow, you have 3,000 subscribers on this channel. Cool. I just subbed you. Okay. So let me take this out. Got one more seam to do and then I'll show it to you. All right. So what I've done here, as I said, is I've sewn around all the way around this. There is a 1/4 inch seam going all the way around this now. What we're going to do next is we're going to take our ruler. All right. Yeah, we're going to take our ruler and we are going to line this up corner to corner, but you want to make sure that your ruler goes right in between the 2 seams, right at the corner. And what you're going to do is you're going to cut on the diagonal, just like that. And then turn your block around where you can get at it again and do the same thing. And try not to move the block. And line it up again. And you're going to cut on the diagonal. Okay, now, this is not 2.5 inch triangles currently. So what I got, because these 4 patch blocks, this finished 4 patch block is 4.5. Basically you ended up with 2.5, 2.5, 2.5, 2.5. On the hourglass, because it only cut 4 of these are bigger than what this would be. So I have to take a ruler And there's different ways of trimming down. I have a ruler here, a quilt in a day ruler, and it has on two sides of it has one where it's whole numbers and the other is half size numbers. And I want to cut these triangles down to 2.5, and I line this 2.5 mark here on my ruler with the seam allowance. And I'm going to stand up to do this because I can see better. And then all you have to do is trim these down to 2.5. Yes, there's wastage on this part, unfortunately. But we're using charm squares instead of doing, cutting our own from yardage. Otherwise, you could just make 2.5-inch triangles from, bigger pieces of fabric. So trim them down to 2.5. This is one of the rulers I actually use all the time for half square triangles when I need to trim down. This has been my go-to. The downside to this ruler is it's super slick on the back, but I've got these little rubber sticky things and put on the back. Can you see those? Yeah. This keeps it from moving around so much. And I have randomly put 4 of them on here. And that'll keep it from sliding around. Okay, so now I've trimmed them down, and we're going to move all this out of the way. And then I'll show you what to do next. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to open this up. I'm going to finger press to start with. We'll do all of them like that because I'm going to cut the ears off. And it doesn't matter which way you're pressing. Well, it's up to you if you want to press to the dark side or to the red side. It's up to you. I'm going to be pressing these seams open. After I get done with this, I'm going to take it over to the iron, which I need to wake up because it went to sleep. And I'm going to press the seams open on this. And then I'll show you how to make the hourglass. You guys with me so far? Hey, Jody, it's good to see you. It's been a while. I hope you've been doing well. Mona says, I had 16 last month, then started making videos. Wow. You're doing really good. Okay, now we have this open, folded out. See the ears? We're going to pin or trim them off. And this little camera, my phone must be hot. Yep, it is. We're going to have to seriously do something about my camera situation. And so I'm doing all 4 of them, and then I'm going to take it over to the iron and press them. Because you want to have these flat as you can get them, because when we join them, there's going to be additional seams that come into play. So now they've been all trimmed. Now what I'm going to do before I take it to the iron is I'm going to go ahead and press my seams open. That way I can get a head start on them with the iron. And it's an extra step, I know. And some, you may not want to take the extra step. It's up, do what is easiest for you or what your brain likes doing the best. This is how I do it. I'm not preaching you have to do it this way because, yeah, you do what works best for you. All right, let's take it over to the iron and press it. I need to wake up the iron. Hey, Jaja, how are ya? Hello, Linda. You too. Been dealing with my mom. Yeah, I remember you mentioned that you've been helping with your mom, and I'm sorry about your mom. I've been there and done that already. So all I'm doing is pressing. This iron don't seem very hot. Hold on a minute. I need to put it one more time. She says, "Thanks, Katie. I'll keep you in my prayers, okay? To sending good thoughts your way to help you with your mom. Big hugs." And Jody, you can share your channel link if you want. Just type exclamation selfie. Okay, let's lay this block out. And I'll press these up. I might as well press these. Hold on a minute. I was just saying the iron's not hot enough. Now it is. It's burning my fingers. Okay, after I show you how to make the hourglass block, we will revisit how you set up the block or what you have to do, because you're going to need 9 4 patches to make the 9 patch part of that big block. And then you're going to need 7 hourglasses for the other part of it, along with sashing, just so you know. If you guys haven't been to Jody's channel, hop on over there and subscribe to her channel. Because she has 2 channels actually, and the other one, let's see, her other channel is Marketplace Boutique, and I can share the link for that. She's also been one of my interviewees. So I'm going to play with this block for a minute because I want to see. Yeah, okay. So what you want to do is you want to put 2 sets of colors in one direction. I'm going to switch these. I think. Let me see. Yes, this is how I want to do this. Okay, so just see how you got, just line them up this way, okay? And then what you're going to do is you're going to sew this to this and this to this. And then when you have both of these done, you're going to sew the other direction with both of them. So let's go ahead and do this first, because this is how you make an hourglass. It's not the same thing as doing a pinwheel. And when you're doing this other corner here, because you have 2 seams coming together on one corner, you want to make sure that these seams right here are parallel to each other. See how I got them lined up? That's what you want to make sure of. And then just put a pin in it so it doesn't move. Jody says that looks pretty. Thank you. I've been having fun with these 4 patches and hourglasses, putting them together. Some of them's creating some interesting colors when you mix them in the way I've been doing it. All right, let's get these sewn together now. We're going to put a 1/4 inch seam on both these. Okay. Now on this, because we have multiple seams together, you're going to have to make sure that when you're opening these up to press them out, that you try to get your seams as flat as you can for joining, because it could create a problem. So open these up. I'm going to finger press to start with. Then I'm going to turn this over and go ahead and I'm going to press this seam open. And then I will take them over to the iron after I've done that. Okay. Same thing on both of them. You need to do both of them the same way. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to take it over to iron and heat them up a little bit. Okay. Now we have 2 parts of a hole. Now, if you were doing a pinwheel, you would do it like this, but we're not sewing a pinwheel. We're going to sew an hourglass. So you want to make sure you turn these this direction. And you're going to sew across here. What you need to do though when you're doing this is make sure you line up these 2 center seams first. And I'll show you, just like I showed you how to do it on the 4 patch, same thing. You're going to turn them face to face. Then you're going to take a pin, if you're a pinner, and put it through the center of this seam. You want to make sure it comes out the other side, not off to the side. And then you're going to take the other this pin right through the center of this seam and make sure it comes out back here the same way, which this does. I'm just going to push it through there for right this minute. Then I'm going to come down here to the end, and it's the same thing. You want to make sure that when you're lining the corners up, that this seam is parallel here, because you don't want it off to the side. And then you just pin it. And then come over here and do the same thing on the other end. Verify that those seams are lined up. As you can see, they are. Then pin it. And then right here, you want to make sure the same thing here. You want to bend it back and see if these 2 seams are in a line with each other, and they are. So put it back the way you had it. Put a pin in it. And I'm going to put a pin in on both sides. I'm not pulling this pin out yet because I want to get this pin first. And then you can take the pin out. Okay, then we're going to sew all across here. 1/4 inch seam. your machine. And then you're going to check the center seam to see if it's lined up, which as you can see, it has lined up here. You got that lined up. This looks good down here. And it's okay here too. So now what we're going to do is take it to the iron and press it. Whew, hot. And now you have an hourglass. That's all there is to that. So it only took 2 5-inch squares, sewn face to face like I showed you, seams all the way around the outside, cut on the diagonal, then sew, and you have an hourglass. And the other so you only get 1 hourglass out of 2. You get 2 4 patches out of the other set of 2. And that's how you do that. All right. Okay, so we got 2 of these made now. Linda says, I haven't sewn anything since I have had this crud. So ready to be over it so we can get back to in the mood to sew. Yes, definitely. Dubrovka says, very nice. Jody says, still shipping over here. Long day. Nanette says, wait. Delia says, Nanette, I have one for personal only doing not. I have one for personal only doing not used for YouTube. Okay, cool. All right, so now let's get back to chain piecing, or chain sewing, that is. See, this is an hourglass set right here. 1, 2, 3, because you have to make. I don't know how I ended up with the extra one, but I did. But that's okay. That means I don't have to sew 3 together on one side because I already got it done. Sorry, I'm distracted by there's thread sticking out of this and I need to get it out. This one looks like I had resewn it or something. Or I was unhappy with the way it looked one. Because that's what it looks like I did. I ripped it out, changed it. It looks like what I did is change the direction of these blocks. That's probably what I did. Okay. And these are sewn together. Where are we on time? Oh, we're doing pretty good because just for future information, let me go look before I open my mouth. Hold on a minute. I need to check a time on. We're going to be going to Williams. Katie, how long have you been quilting? Dubrovka asked. I sewed my first block in 2016, maybe, and I'll show you my first block because I have it over here. I'm trying to hand quilt it. This is my first quilt block, Dubrovka, and I did it in 2016. This is the main part of the block, and then I was bored that night I was making this, and I didn't like all this empty space here. So I'm like, I wonder what will happen if I just do something interesting, which I did. So this is why they don't look like they're in the same in the same alignment. So they're not, you know, you can see it. This was just on a whim. I ought to remake this block and fix these corners. But I cut out paper, or I took a piece of paper, drew this out. I did 4 of them. I should have just used 1 piece of paper, but back then I didn't even know what the heck I was doing, and did like a paper piecing kind of style thing with it, because I was just copying, not copying this, but copycatting someone who was paper piecing, because I'm like, I want to try that. So I made my own little design here and did the paper piecing, and this is what it turned out to be. And then I made sure that this block was the same size as these blocks here and sewed them on the corner. So that's why they're not perfect. But this was my first block in 2016. Now since then, because I'm learning how to hand quilt, I added this border on here so that I could have a bigger piece. But yeah, and this is my first time hand quilting as well. And I've been trying to learn how to do that. This is a recent affair in the past year. I just can't figure out how to tie off. It's very confusing for me. My brain doesn't understand how to do it. So I may end up just taking this piece with me somewhere where someone can actually sit down next to me and show me. Because I've tried doing it over the video, tried doing it over Zoom, and I keep losing. So yeah. And it could be, the problem is when you're looking at a video, you're looking straight at whoever's showing you, which means they're sewing opposite of you, and that might be what's teasing me. What I need is to have someone sitting next to me that's right-handed and walk me through how to get that knot hidden into the quilt. Thank you, Dubravka. So yeah, since 2016, but I feel like my best sewing has been in the last 2 years, because I'm getting the hang of it. I'm starting to understand a lot of things. There's still a lot for me to learn, like how to tie off a knot, and things I still don't know how to do. I don't know how to pay. I don't know how to applique. I haven't done any curves. Now, I don't consider reverse applique on a circle a curve, because that's different. You don't have to really worry about what you're doing. Yeah, so there's still a lot for me to learn. I would like to take a binding class. I feel like my binding's okay, but I need a better understanding of the mitered corner so that it looks like it should look. I mean, there's nothing wrong with my mitered corners, but I feel like I could do better. You want to learn FPP. Man, FPP, it's fun. This is FPP, what I'm doing right here. You know what? Maybe I can do a video one night, or do a live one night where we're just step by step doing an FPP. Would you like that, Janet? Because we could do that. I can just pick a FPP. I think it'd be good practice to do a love block, because that's paper piecing. As you notice, I have a bunch of love blocks up here. Yeah, it's not difficult at all. It is very fun. Yes, it is, Farrell. Definitely. Practice on placemats. I could do a live where we can go through a FPP slow. I'll find a really simple one. Okay, let me put that on my to-do list. Janet, when I make the announcement about doing it, would you like me, because I'll find a free pattern, a simple one, and I'll share the pattern so you can do it along with me, so that way we can go step by step. So I'll find a simple one for us to do, and I'll keep an eye out on the because this can be something I can do next week or even this week, probably next week. I'll set it up for next week on one of my late night lives, and we will do a paper piecing live. And so I'll find a simple free pattern. Keep an eye out on the community tab of my channel. I will make an announcement. This is where you need to go download the pattern. And I'll also announce it 2 or 3 times in a live right prior to it. So I'll get on that homework assignment tomorrow and get you all, we'll do a live where it's step-by-step paper piecing. And you do have a printer, yes, Janet? Because you're going to need to print it from your printer. Oh, Chris says practicing corners with placemats. That's actually a good idea. I need to make a placemat so I can do that, because I actually have I actually have a kit for placemats. Yes. Okay, that's on my list too. All right. Okay, let's get back to sewing. First, I'm gonna cut these apart, because some of these I want to turn into hourglass. Let me see, which ones do I want to turn into hourglass? Probably the butterflies is going to be one of them. This one. Meeny, meeny, miny, mo. Do I want to do red and green, or do I want to do this? This might be interesting as an hourglass. The rest of these I'll do as 4-patch. So these are already sewn. They're ready for cutting. I'm gonna set these aside. Okay, let's set those aside. All right, these ones, there's 3 of these. I'll go ahead and do the others. Uh-oh, wait a minute. Did I only do one side of these? I did only one side. Oops. Oh my goodness. I got Katie, you are so kind and helpful. Thank you, Dubravka. I try to, I want to, okay, here's the deal. I'm still learning. And the reason there was 2 reasons for my 1,000 block tutorials I was doing. One, to learn to improve my sewing skill sets, one of them, to share that journey with you guys, and also learn how to do tutorials, because teaching is different, and we all learn in a different way. And I'm more of a visual, hands-on kind of learner versus reading a pattern and just doing it. I mean, I can read a pattern, that's not the problem. Sometimes just reading is not enough. Jody says, you make me want to quilt again. Please do, and join me. So by practicing doing tutorials, it'll make me better at teaching you guys how to do something. And maybe I'll show you something you didn't know how to, like this was a learning thing. I did not know that you could take 2 5-inch blocks, sew them on 2 sides, cut them in half twice to make a 4-patch, 2 4-patches. I did not know that, because as I stated before, I didn't always understand the mechanics of a block. And so I stumbled onto this by accident, and I'm like, oh my God, I had a, what do you call it, an aha moment. I'm like, wow, did not know that. And then I thought to myself, what happens if I sew all the way around and cut on the diagonal twice? So I did that because I had no idea what was going to happen. I didn't know if I was going to waste fabric, or, you know, or if something was going to come of it. And I discovered that I was making half square triangles. Then, because as I said, I didn't really still understand the mechanics, I took those 4 half square triangles and sewed them together, and discovered that they weren't the same size as the 4 patches I made. In fact, it was bigger. And you can't trim down, and I'll explain why you can't trim down an hourglass. Where's my hourglass block? You cannot trim. So These are 4.5. That I knew. This is not what, if you didn't trim this down, this would be bigger. It would be like an inch bigger. There's no way to trim an hourglass down because you'd be chopping this off. You just can't. So that's why I trimmed down and then sewed this together after I've done that. Hey, Andy, it's good to see you. So that's why, and this was all learning, and then I just was showing you how I did it. But someone might say, well, there's a simpler way of doing this. And that's cool. If someone knows a simpler way, that's fine. This is how I'm doing it so I can understand how to do it. Okay. All right, let's get this other side. Handmade by Ying has a tutorial collaboration with several YouTube creators. All right. Let's get this other side sewn. Did I say young? Oh, typo. Handmade by Ying. So what I'm doing is sewing the other side of these 5-inch blocks. I apparently didn't do that because I got sidetracked. A good sidetrack though. So anyway, I'll continue to learn how to do better with teaching. And I'm always willing to show someone how to do something based on my ability to teach it. And I want to teach it. I think I used to be a tutor for golf course students who were having trouble with landscaping classes. It was hilarious. But I loved it. I loved doing it, sharing the knowledge, because I love learning. And I always have. This is going to be an hourglass. And this one's going to be an hourglass. And this one's going to be an hourglass. So we're not done with those yet. So these ones, I'm going to want one out of that one too. These 3, I'm going to turn these into 4 patches. Okay, so I'll put that over there, and now I need to sew on the other 2 sides of these. These are going to be hourglasses. Thank you, Jody, for being a member. Thank you so much. Welcome to the member group. How many projects do you generally have going on at one time? That's a loaded question. Okay, this past year, I have, which I'm trying to finish up with now, I had Katie's Creative Chaos, the Magnolia, which I actually did finish that one. That one's done. The top is done, not the quilt. So there was the Magnolia. There's the 1,000 block tutorial so long we've been doing. Star Climber. Stitch It. Something else. I think I have 6. Chris says, I have to stop sewing now and go to bed. My seam ripper is being used too often. Good night, all. Cindy Surrett, Chris. I'm sorry you're having trouble. Have a good rest. Hey, Andy, do you have all your stuff ready for the sew along? I got to get my stuff cut for that sew along. I haven't even started. But it won't take me long to get it cut out since I'm using batiks. Remember, Jody, if you're up for it, we're going to be doing a sew along. We're going to be making a cute little dressed in neighborhood block. No, it's actually a little mini quilt we're making. She says she's almost just got a cut. Yep, same here. I just got a cut. And I need to pull out some stuff and figure out which one of them. I think I have some heat and bond. I hope so, or I'm gonna be in trouble. Uh-oh, that one can't be turned that way. Interesting. How'd that happen? All right, let's see here. These are all done on four sides. Looks. No, wait, this one might not. No, it is. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. I've got these. These four are going to be for hourglass. So I'm gonna set them aside. I'm not gonna cut them yet because I'm gonna keep on sewing first so that I can have a bunch of them to use as my layout. Okay, now let's do some more setting up of, um, man, my back is giving me trouble today. I think I slept wrong. Okay, let's use these polka dots on. Definitely want to do that one like that. Okay. Nope. Yep. Okay, we'll put these two together. I have a pattern, but I haven't cut it out yet, says Mona. Okay, we still have time. I'm not rushing anyone. I thought I explained, never mind. We'll talk about it later. All right, there's two. Let me see here. I want to use this lilac with, ooh, that looks good together. Let me see here. We have pink horses. For some weird reason, I want to put it with that plaid. I don't know why, but I don't know if that will work or not. Hmm. No. Nope. Stand up, move around, and hydrate. What do y'all think about this together? Y'all like that? Let me set that aside. I have to think about that one. Good advice. Yep, I'm gonna stand up here in a minute. Okay. Um, yep, this will work together. This might work better. Yeah, let's try that one. It's okay. It doesn't matter if it looks right or not, because this whole thing is scrappy anyway. All right, let me see here. We have two different plaids here. And I think I need, let me see here. Let's put this black. And then let's do this with, Katie, that looks good together. Thank you. What about this with this? No, this green looks better with that green than this green. Yeah. All right. Let's put these together. I think this will be okay. The hardest part is not to overthink. Definitely. I agree with you on that one. All right. Now then, I'm leaning toward putting these two together. Let me put this on top of it. That one. All right. Let's try this with that. Yeah, I think that one will work. And then let's put this, these two will work together. Let me see here. Big flowers on this one. Yeah, that'll work. This gets kicked back to the box again because it's not talking to me right now. Some of this is not talking to me, like this is not talking to me right now. But I'm thinking that I want to take this purple here. Nope. Well, what about that? Nope. Why is that button? This one is giving me a little bit of a Carol says, have a good night, y'all. I'm off to my final light and sound. Have a good night. Thank you for coming. Jody says, here, but trying to sort my mother's bills. I bet that's not fun. Bonnie says, after my declutter on January 1st, I counted 9 WIPs. Now, as far as how many WIPs I have, oh my God, I haven't even, I need to take time to do that. And then we're going to talk about it on a live. And maybe I'll even show you all my WIPs. I have a bunch of them. But I pulled out 3 WIPs I'm going to work on this year. The first half of the year, anyway. I'm having difficulty here with this. Why is it giving me a hard time? I definitely want to put these two together, so that's going to go there. Let's put this one with this. We're going to put this one with this. And this one with this. Okay. All right. Katie, do you use any special paper for FPP? I use the thinnest paper I can find and then spritz it with water right before tearing it away. Yeah, I've been test running a couple different ones, and I also there's something else I want to try. I'm ordering some more printable FPP paper for printing on, but I'm also going to order some vellum paper because I loved typing on vellum paper because of the texture of it, and it might be interesting to use it in paper piecing because it's thin enough, but yet sturdy enough to hold up without falling apart completely. I bought some, I don't know where it's at the moment, but when I find it, I bought something that was extremely thin, and as soon as you put holes in it, when you're sewing the fabric to it, all you do is just you hardly have to mess with it, and it just comes apart too easy. And so I can't make up my mind whether I like it or I dislike it. All right, let's get sewing. Y'all aren't bored, are you? Is this too slow for you guys because I'm piddling too long? Let me know if you're okay with what I'm doing. Because this part's always going to be tedious, unfortunately. Because there's designing and going on at the same time. Or color designing anyway. Jenna says, oh, do I need special paper for a printer for it's let's put it this way. It's up to you. I use printer paper too. If it's small, for bigger pieces of FPP like this, regular printer paper is fine. But if it's like small, like that butterfly you've been seeing me work on, use FPP. Not, I use printer paper and it's so annoying. But yeah, vellum paper would probably really work because it's not expensive and in the grander scheme of things. But I want to test run it before I say it's good, because I don't want to tell you to buy vellum paper and then you tell me you were wrong. I need to test this theory first, and the only way to test it is to buy some and have it sent. But yeah, you can use printer paper, Janet. Don't overthink. I'm not telling anyone to buy extra things. I just like using the paper piecing paper for small stuff, because it's easier to tear out. On the bigger stuff, it really doesn't matter. Some people will even buy newspaper print. I didn't even know you could buy newspaper print. It's according to what you find. And Janet, here's a piece of advice. The only way you're going to know what you prefer is to try different ones. Try printer paper, try paper piecing paper, try what I'm going to do. I'm going to test run vellum paper just to see whether it's doable or not. I know you can buy newsprint, so maybe I'll buy a small, maybe a quarter of a ream of newsprint and test run that out. And you know, just this is how we all learn. We test different. Yes, you have to spend a tiny bit of money to test the theories, but I'm going to show you something that I have done. And I know it won't make sense in the longer scheme of things. So a long time ago, I don't remember when Fat Quarter Shop did it, but Kimberly came out with these big 12-inch foundation paper piecing pads. There's nothing on them. I wish she would have come out with these pads in this standard 8.5 by 11 sheets. Mona's leaving. Cindy, so who's leaving? Okay. Hold on, Nina. I'll answer your question in just a second. Good night, Mona. Have a sweet dreams. So anyway, and she ran a special on these papers. Now I think I have 3 of these. And I don't remember what I paid for them way back whenever it was I got them. But she was running some kind of special, and so I bought some, silly me. No, I have not used them. However, what I did the other day, and this is wastage, like in a big way, but I saved the pieces I cut off. I'll use them for drawing on and designing paper piecing of my own and just practice with. So I'm not going to throw the part out. I took a bunch of sheets out of here and cut them to fit in my printer. And I printed these out on it because I feel like I'm wasting this by not using it at all. I have another pad open right now where I'm drawing something on it, just messing around to see if I can come up with my own little FPP project. But when you have paper like this you're not using, there's always, you can improvise. Just saying. Bonnie says, yes, sorry, all. If I had a pattern that fits on my scratch pad, I transfer patterns by hand on a patio door as my light box. Yep, see? Improvising. Okay, what am I working on? I am working on my Katie's Creative Chaos sewalong that I started almost a year ago. And I'm trying to get things closer to finishing up with it. So right now I'm making more 4-patch blocks and more hourglass blocks. And no one's ever late. I mean, I'm gonna run this live until, oh, I was supposed to see when William's live is supposed to start. Hold on a minute. because I'm going to dump y'all into his channel. We're going to do a raid. (1:50 a.m.) Yep. So we got plenty of time. 1:50 a.m. my time. So it'll be 12, 11, 10:50 Eastern Standard Time. Yep. So when it gets close to about 5 till, I will let y'all know, and we will be booking over to William's channel. Like I said, not all 5-inch blocks are treated the same. This is so amusing. I'm probably going to end up using this one as an hourglass block. He isn't coming on for another hour. Are you going to be on his panel tonight? Not that I know of. I wasn't invited, so I don't think so. But I'm going to still go in there because I want to keep sewing. I want to get more of these blocks done. No, not that I know of, Denise. I didn't get an invite, so. And that's not. When are you coming on tomorrow? I will be coming on at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time for another late night. The late night ones I know are confusing to you guys because I'm coming on later than my usual live times. It's just that people have lives earlier than that, and I don't want to get in the middle of them. So yeah, 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. So I'm on you guys, I'm on day 10. Oh, it's after midnight now. I'm so technically it's day 9 of my 28-day challenge. So I'm doing pretty good. There's been a couple days I'm so tired. But been pushing through, but I did get some sleep today, so that's a good thing. And it's cold outside. Our temperature is 34 degrees right now. Fahrenheit. I wonder what the bot says about our temperature here today. Let's see what the bot says. It says 31. That's interesting, but that's at the airport. I'm down here on the lake. The wind is blowing from the east northeast. Yep, yes, it is. Because when I went to the store today, I'm like, wow, that wind is really cold because it was coming from the north. Y'all can share your weather if you want to. Type exclamation weather and then where you're at. You can either put a zip code in or you can put your city and town, or if you don't want to divulge exactly where you're at, put in the where you're closest to. Bonnie says, I'll be there sewing good. I hope so. All right, now we're going to sew on the other side. Denise, what are you working on? The same with you, Bonnie. What are you sewing on? What is everybody working on? Why does that one look crooked? Same thing with this one. I think it's because some of these blocks are weird. Okay. Lacey has 44 degrees Fahrenheit today. Weather at the parish. Jaja says, my machine keeps slipping stitches, so I'm trying to get to the bottom of that. Ugh, making me so mad. Yeah, I can imagine. At the parish, they're 56 degrees. Vicky Bush says mug rug. And Janice says, I have just been trying to learn to use my 221 and 301. I think I want to learn enough to take care. I think I want to learn enough to take one of them to Tammy's retreat in September. That's cool, Janet. Vicky says, cut some material for a placemat pattern. Bonnie says, I've been doing some quilting math for me and my friends to do a BOM. I am making one block each month. One friend is making 2 blocks each month, and another is making 3 blocks for a king size bed. Shonda says, you're sewing late tonight, Katie. Yep. I'm doing one of my late nights. Chris says, quilt a ballad for my grandson. Bonnie says, the cutting instructions are not great, so I'm adding that step for them. And Jaja says, hi to Shonda. Denise says, I can't use my leg, can't lift foot more than a couple of inches and have to use both hands to do that. So no driving or sewing. Neuropathy hip to foot. Oh, I'm so sorry. Hope you get to feeling better. Bonnie says, Jaja, change the needle. Okay. I just made a new bobbin and tried that still skipping. Is it skipping on the bottom or on the top? Why do I have that song on my head? Must have heard it somewhere. Maybe I heard it on the TV while I was sleeping. Hmm. Okay. These are going to be the hourglass ones. I think it's not catching the thread underneath. Check the bobbin area. Also pull out your bobbin case and see if there's something up underneath it. Unless you've already done all of that. So I'll just wait. Denise says check the, yeah. And Jaja says she's gonna try that. Yeah, because one time mine was acting weird and I thought I cleaned everything out. It didn't occur to me to pull the bobbin case out. And when I pulled out the bobbin case, there was thread up underneath it. It was weird. And after that, now I completely pull it out. I don't leave it in when I'm cleaning the top half. Because I guess junk gets up underneath it too. Okay. When you rethread, make sure the needle is up and the thread is going through the tension disc right. It could be something simply as something small stuck in between something. Okay. Set this aside because I'm going to cut the 4 edges first. Yeah, any of these little things could help. Because it's probably something minute causing it. Sometimes machines can be finicky just because of one little piece of small thread. And I need my glue. All right, what did I do with it? I need to stand up for a minute. A little bit of lint got caught in the tension spring of the bobbin or lint in the belly. Yep. That's how I didn't know you were supposed to pull out your bobbin case whenever you're cleaning. And when my machine was acting all persnickety one time, because this machine is never gives me trouble except if there's too much dust down below. And when I realized I could pull the bobbin case out, because so new to this, um I'm like, I found thread up underneath it, little pieces of thread. And that was why it was being such a pain in the butt. When I got all that out of there, it stopped acting out. I just wish I could get it serviced because I've had it for 6 years and it's never had a spa treatment. Y'all aren't talking. Okay, what can we talk about? Anybody doing anything special for Valentine's Day? I can't believe it that when Valentine's Day rolls in, it'll be 16 years since Nikolai asked me to marry him. 16. Wow, that's just a long time, seems like. I remember that day. I wanted to say yes. At the same time, I was so scared about saying yes. And he hadn't given me, I wasn't scared of him. I was scared of saying yes and then it all fall apart because I was so used to everything always being bad all the time. And this man, was so good to me. And, when it's kind of like being gun shy or whatever you call it. Because we'd only been dating, we had an 11-year friendship, but we'd only been dating about 6 months when he asked me. We clicked. It was just an amazing time. It's still an amazing time, don't get me wrong. I really hope I didn't just I think I did. Nope. I feel like I've cut some of my hourglass ones into four. I hope not. I really hope not. Oh, okay, all good here. Hi, Sylvia. He's doing good. He says he's when I talked to him, I think it was yesterday. I haven't talked to him tonight yet, but yesterday he said he was tired, but they are slammed with shrimp right now. They already have 300 tons inside the cargo hold, and it's worth 12 million Danish kroners right now. So I have a feeling they might go back into port again and unload again and then go back out again because they'll be full long before they're supposed to get off the boat altogether. Okay, this was one I'm going to do yeah, I need a different ruler for this one. These are the ones I'm going to do on the diagonal. But they're having good fishing. They're just, he said that they are so slammed with shrimp they can hardly keep up. And it's been a long time since that's happened. A long time because fishing's been bad over the last couple years. But they're not having the part of the reason I think they're able to fish so well right now is most of the fleet is fishing off the East Coast. So there's not so much competition right now with other ships because most of all of Royal Greenland ships are on the other coast except for one, and then there's a couple independents that are fishing in their area, but everybody else is off the East Coast right now. It just takes forever to catch shrimps on the East Coast because there's competition with the wildlife. But the shrimps are huge over there on the East Coast. It's just so much competition. And now they got orcas in the way of everything. But it's not their fault. They're king of the ocean, you know? The weather has definitely affected everything. I mean, orcas are moving further north. They were just centralized, staying on the uh, East Coast, but this year there was a couple of them sighted on the West Coast. So I don't know what's going to happen when they end up on that end of the coast because it's probably going to disrupt everything. As far as during the summertime when you got humpback whales and everything else, and they may be, give the bigger whales a hard time. And the humpback whales stayed longer this go around because the water was still warm enough. They didn't start their migration until later because they were still in Ilulissat in the latter part of October. It was a strange thing. Normally they already hit the road around September, but our weather is just weird, you guys. It's too warm. It's warm all the way up and down Greenland. Whatever's going on in our atmosphere is causing lots of trouble. Because we've had a lot of warm air in the stratosphere up above Greenland, and that's why the United States keeps getting all this Arctic stuff, which should be here, not there. It's really interesting right now. Our there's some pictures got posted on Facebook the day before yesterday. Apparently, there's some areas of the lake still not frozen, and somebody fell through them. So the police issued a warning to stay off the lake. People are not staying off the lake because they want to walk the lake. Keep it up. Keep up with it. Keep up with what, Katie? Keep up with shrimping, Denise. They're overloaded with shrimp right now. They have so much shrimp they can't keep up right now. So they're switching back and forth with using one gear versus two, because when they were using two, which is normal for them to do, but the haul is so huge, you have a certain amount when you haul a gear in with shrimps. There's a time frame that you have to work in because you've got to get them done before they die. If they die, then it's a waste. So when they get overloaded, they pull everybody off their other jobs to go down to the factory to help. And if it's too much, then what they'll do is they'll back off and use one gear. So it's a process. Because technically they could drop two gears at the same time. The newer ships, the newest ones in the fleet, can drop three. But they have a bigger team to handle that. But I don't think they've been doing that. I think they've been, because the two newest ships that they just put on the fleet, or the three, they can also do halibut and cod. And I think they've been doing a lot of fishing instead of shrimping. And let the smaller ship take care of the shrimping part of it. Because that's all Nikolai's ever done is shrimping. I don't think he's ever been on a fishing boat that I know of. Let's see, in July, he'll have been doing it 32 years. Oh my God, are they okay? Yeah, they're fine. They just have a lot of shrimps to deal with right now. Houston, we have a problem. Oh my God. Well, crap. Well, that one's okay. Let's see how many of these I foobarred. So these are foobarred. I don't know. I'll figure out what to do about them. I think I could just cut one side off. Not cut off. Seam rip off. These are okay. Let me have a look at these. I think this was supposed to be for an hourglass. Okay, so I can just rip the seam off the side. So we'll set these aside and deal with these later. I was distracted. But maybe in the next week, I'll know when he's going to go to port, because he'll go to port. So if he goes to port again, that means another paycheck. Then he'll go back out and they'll finish the rest of their tour, because they get off the boat on March the 2nd. So if they go in, like, say, next week to unload, that'll be paycheck number 2 for the load. And then they'll go back out, keep shrimping until it's time to go in to unload again and get off the boat. So that'll be 3 paychecks in this go around, which is great because it's been a long time since that's happened. A long time. Probably at least 2 years. They had 1 year, I want to say that it was either 2019 or 2019 or 2020. I'm not sure which one. the shrimps were so plentiful that they were going into port every 10 days. It was insane because the cargo holds would be just full of shrimp. They made so much money that year. And right now the price of shrimp is up, so it's a good time to be making money. Although it's at the consumer's expense because of inflation. Y'all are quiet. Oh, we're coming along here. We're almost at let's see, it's 18 minutes after 1 now. So in less than an hour, William will be going live. Hey, Happy, how you doing? Chris says good night, everyone. Cindy Surrett. I ran into my neighbor in the store today, just up the road. I didn't know he was there. He lives in front of us in the red house. You've probably seen it in some of my videos. Um, and, and I didn't know he was there. And he come walking up to me and tapped me on the shoulder. He says, I haven't seen you for a while. Is everything okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. I've just been busy. All right, we got all of these cut. They are talking about importing beef from Argentina to lower cost of hamburger here in the United States. That's interesting. Doing well, just sewing on my EPP blocks, relaxing. It was almost 80 degrees today. Wow. She's in Arkansas. That's crazy. Anyone watching the Olympics? I can't watch the Olympics and sew at the same time and run a live. So not me. And no, I'm not being a smartass. Sorry. Oh, just being facetious a little bit. That's all. Whoa, what are you doing? That was strange. Just checking on something real quick, you guys. I'm seeing if the book got delivered to Rita. According to this, it did. They put it behind the truck. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. So if she backs up, she'll back right over the top of it. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Socialites is starting soon, definitely. You would definitely win a medal for that. They put Amazon put their that box behind the wheel, the behind the back wheel of her truck. So if she backed up, she'd run right over it and squash it. And I haven't seen her in the chat tonight. Denise, I see a picture. They put it behind the back wheel of her truck. I hope not either. They probably didn't put it at the door because of her having dogs. And I don't have a way of calling her and saying, hey man, you need to go outside. Well, that's very disturbing, to say the least. Contact Jess to contact Rita. That's a good idea. Let me see if I can get Jess to answer her text message. All right, where are you? Oh, there you are. She may show up on deck. She went in Williams Live the last 2 times now. And I slept most of the afternoon today, so I wasn't on anyone's live because I was sleeping. My computer was running their lives, but I was sleeping. So I don't know if she was in any of them or not. I could have sworn I saw her really early this morning in Leanna's chat this morning, but that book hadn't been delivered yet. It was still out on the road. I can't believe they put that behind a truck wheel. I have 2 flimsies that need a backing. I have many flimsies that need backing and don't have any backing. No fabric stored at. Well, I'm hoping I'll see. Maybe I'll come back home with some backing when I go to Denmark if I can find the right shop. Mona told you earlier that she was on Mona's live sale. Yeah, but I don't know when Mona's live sale was. I was probably sleeping then. That doesn't help me get a hold of her. I had emailed her and she hadn't answered, which means she probably hasn't checked her email. I just want to make sure she gets her present. That's all. I do the same thing when I'm sending stuff to my kids. I track it. Sylvia says I usually finish before I start another. Oh, well, I don't. I just have mini flimsies. I'm not going to stop because I don't have yardage for backing. Not without swiping yardage that belongs to something else anyway. But I think that's cool that you finish one before you do another one. That's really a good idea. A good motto. You could ask your audience to let her know you're trying to reach her and contact you. That's true. Any of you see Rita, Crystal Dragon Rita, will you tell her that I'm trying to find her to check outside for her Amazon practice or package, please? I just texted Jess, so we'll see if she answers or not. Oh, I didn't trim that one? Denise, is this thing with your foot going to last for a while, or is it an ongoing thing that you have to deal with? I tell you who I haven't seen in a long time, and that's been Robin. Well, I think I've made progress and that I've got a lot of these ready to start sewing together soon. Um, trying to, I'm trying to get a lot of them done so that I can sew them all at once. Since I need to have, I think I did, let's see, I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, I think. Yeah, 12. I need 18 more of these things, 18 more big blocks. So making a bunch of these all at once would be a good idea. Let's use a bunch of charm squares. Uh-oh. Ah, oh my goodness. Apparently, I must have heard the song. Let's see, I'll be anywhere, something like that. I'm not exactly sure the title of the song, actually. I've Been Everywhere song because I woke up singing it, so I must have heard it from the TV. On Wheel of Fortune, Vanna White is wearing leather pants and a wide striped glittery top. She got married 2 weeks ago. Oh, that's cool. How many times has she been married? There's another one like that. Uh-oh. We might have a few of them like this. Looks like I forgot to run the sewing machine up one side. This one's okay. This one isn't okay. This one's fine. That's okay. It's nothing I can't take care of. Must have been the last couple of them that happened on. Probably forgot to run them up the other side. Okay, these are all fine. Thank goodness. I finally got a chance to watch the halftime show yesterday. It was pretty good. Okay, we've got about 5 more minutes before I have to start, or I'm gonna stop in 5 minutes and talk to y'all about what we're doing tomorrow, which is gonna be this. So I hope you'll come and watch me do this because I want to get, maybe tomorrow we'll start sewing a lot of these together because I'm going to do some more sewing tonight while I'm watching Williams live. And yeah. And so hopefully tomorrow we can start sewing a lot of these together. See how many blocks we can create. Because I'm going to try to get as much of this as I can get done. That way I can start putting them together and get them up here. Y'all still with me? Let's talk about the poll. I do want to talk about the poll. Okay, the poll is, what does insidious mean? And 3% voted on sharp, 7% voted on calm, 88% voted on treacherous, and 2% voted on honest. The answer was treacherous. Thank you for doing the poll. There was 58 votes. Okay, so while I'm cutting here, let's talk about the program for tomorrow, for the rest of the week. Let's see. Get my calendar out here. All right. So tomorrow we will be working on this Katie's Creative Chaos. And then on Wednesday, we're going to do block number 32, American Crossroads, and I'm going to be modifying the center of it. It's going to look different than what the picture shows. And I'm going to be doing it just in red and white. I'm not going to have blue in it. So that's what it, but I'll be using different shades of red. I'm going to go through all of my batik reds and pull out different shades of red. And I'll be using the regular background for the white part of it. Thursday, Jess is going to be on my live with me. And we will be working on Katie's Creative Chaos again on Thursday. And then on Friday, I don't have a guest set up yet. And I'll be working on block number 34, Stars Upon Stars. That's the next one. Saturday, I have Lisa from Awkward Quilter joining me. Hopefully that won't get canceled. And Saturday, I'm going to work on Katie's Creative Chaos again, unless I get bored and do something else. And then on Sunday, we have Danny, Myra, and myself for Peace of Mind Mending Pieces. And that's what we'll be doing on Sunday. And then I could tell you maybe what we're doing on Monday, maybe. And Monday the 16th, we will be working on the last 1,000 block book, which will be number 36, which will be Winter Village. And then Tuesday, we'll have Shonda, Amanda, Andy, Teresa, and myself doing the live crochet. And then I'll let you know after that what we're doing. So that's where we are on the schedule. She has only been married one other time, engaged a couple of times. She's 68. I thought she was over 70. I knew she was younger. I thought she was way younger than Pat Sajak. She's a beautiful woman. Cool that she's getting married even at this age. Happiness is everything. Okay. What time it is now. Okay. All right. Because it starts in about 7 minutes. All right. So I just want to tell all of y'all, thank you for sitting with me, sewing with me, and always being here for, with me. I appreciate all of y'all. I will never take any of you for granted because y'all are a great group of people. And yeah, thank you for hanging out with me. Denise, what I showed you on how to do these blocks, was that good enough or do I need to do some more? With I will say what I will do though is tomorrow, if we start putting these blocks together, I will slow walk through the 9 patch and how I do the hourglass along with the sashing. I will rebuild another one for everyone to see on that as well. All right. So remember to hug one another and remember to live, laugh, love, and dream. What do y'all do with all of that? You make something beautiful or you do something beautiful for someone else so that you can put a smile on their face because we all need that right now. So, and I'll see you guys tomorrow on the next live. Good night, everyone. Okay, let me see here. Oh, ready.